In ASP.NET Core, we have this concept called hosting environment, which can be development, staging, and production. And in the application, we can detect this hosting environment programmatically and include or exclude some code depending on what we want to build. Now, the explanation of that is beyond the scope of this section, because here we're just going to talk about integration of Angular 2 and ASP.NET Core. But in this lecture, I want to talk about the impact of the hosting environment on Webpack. So back in terminal, when we execute .NET run, look at the hosting environment. So currently it's production, and chances are on your machine it's also production. When we run the application in the production mode, our JavaScript bundles are created only once, the first time we run the application. So if we go back in our code and make some changes here, our JavaScript bundle is not going to be regenerated. So for example, if I add a constructor here and simply log hello world on the console and save, I'm not going to see this message in the console even if I refresh the page. Now this can be tedious when you're developing the application because you're constantly changing the code and you want to see the latest changes in the browser. However, there are times that you want to stick to the production environment to examine some functionality. Maybe some piece of code should only be executed in a production environment. In those situations, if you want to regenerate the JavaScript bundles, you need to manually run Webpack. So back in the terminal, in the project folder, if we run Webpack, this will regenerate our main bundle, which is our application code. So by default, it will look at this file, webpack.config.js, to figure out what files it needs to include in this bundle. Now, as you see here, we have also another Webpack configuration file, which is webpack.config.vendor, for bundling our third-party libraries. If you want to regenerate this bundle, you should add the config switch here, so --config, and specify the configuration file name, so webpack.config.vendor.js. And now once again, I'm going to run Webpack to regenerate our main bundle, our application code. Okay, beautiful. Now back in the browser, if you open up the console, we see our hello world message. So we have the latest code. Now you can see this is very tedious. A better way is to change the environment to development. And with this, anytime you modify the client code, Webpack will rebuild the main bundle. So back in terminal, we execute export on Mac and set on Windows. So export ASP.NET Core _ environment, and we set that to development. Now this will change this environment variable only for the current window. So if you close this window and open it again, you need to set this variable one more time. If you want to set this variable globally, so you don't have to repeat this step again, look at the link on the screen for more details. All right, now our hosting environment is development. So if you run .NET run, note the hosting environment, it's development. Now back in the browser, let's refresh this page. Beautiful. Let's take a look at the console. Note this message here, HMR connected. HMR stands for Hot Module Replacement, which is a powerful feature of Webpack. So if we go back to VS Code and make a change here, let's say hello world 2. Save. You can see this hot module replacement detected the changes, bundle was rebuilt, and if you look further below, you can see this new hello world message. And the interesting thing here is that I didn't have to refresh the page in the browser. So any changes we make to TypeScript, CSS, or HTML files are automatically compiled and pushed to the browser. Let's look at another example. I'm going to go to home.component.html and change the heading to hello world 2. Save. Now back in the browser, you can see it's automatically updated here. So even these HTML files are embedded in our main bundle. So Webpack detected the change, did the necessary compilation, and pushed the changes to the browser. Next, I'm going to show you how to add a third-party library to this project.